Good afternoon. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you tuned into every Saturday afternoon. I'm Elsa McGee, your host, and we're here today doing the same thing we've been trying to do ever since we started the show. Trying to make sense out of a sensitive situation called the plight of veterans in the USA, and the USA with the plight of veterans. But we are here today doing the same thing that we've been doing, but with help. My co-host, I got two co-hosts, got a special co-host, Dr. Pollard, and my sidekick, Anthony. But we got a special guest today, something really special, a veteran. And we're going to let her introduce herself, and Dee Marie.
Hello, I am Dee Marie Monroe, an author, entrepreneur, business owner, a mom, a visionary, a leader, a community activist, and a veteran, and I wear that well.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me today.
Okay. Today now, this is Memorial Day. This is our Memorial Day show. Today, not missing a beat. Now, if you're looking, you need to call in, ask a question about some of the previous issues that we have discussed, especially about claims. Now, we are always here for claims, and those that need help with your claims, you need to talk with us before you go out and talk with anybody else, because we're going to direct you to winning, getting awarded the claims that you are trying to get. So we just want to help do that. But today we're going to kind of take a detour and deal with Memorial Day. Memorial Day all over the country is Monday. We'll see people going to national cemeteries, state cemeteries, giving and paying homage to those who have paid the ultimate price for the freedoms that we enjoy in this country every day. So here today we're talking about it. Now we're going to make it local because we want it to be personal, because we know that every year when we're graduating, we got our young people going to the military, and I salute them and I want to encourage them. But we want to make sure that we are empowering the community to stand with them while they're in the military service and when they come back home with those benefits that they've earned. But we're going to slide over to Tony for a minute. We're going to put him on the spot because, see, he is the detail guy when it comes down to the Sons of Atlanta progress in terms of what we did. Last week we had Bob Fowler on deck, the architect that actually is designing and building a memorial. But today we are moving to hopefully making people understand why it is so important that we do memorials for those of that paid the ultimate price, especially for those of us that gave some and made it back home to tell the story about military service, the good and the bad. Tony.
Yes. Thanks for putting me on the spot. Good morning. Hello, everyone. My name is Tony Merritt. I'm with the Sons of Atlanta, and I want to make a point about this particular Memorial Weekend celebration. And it's a weekend celebration, most of us have started already, is the fact that we're celebrating and memorializing all of those young men, not just in Atlanta, but across the country, who served our country and, of course, as Reverend McGee said, paid the ultimate price. This is an incredible opportunity for us to honor them and their service. Of course, everyone honors and always says, thank you for your service. These guys, we aren't able to say thank you for the service, but we want to recognize you. And this is what the country is doing on this particular holiday, is celebrating those veterans who paid that ultimate price. Now, I'm going to just slightly switch seats just a little bit and mention the fact that we're in the process of building a memorial in historic Piedmont Park in Atlanta, Georgia, celebrating and recognizing and honoring those 240 young men from metropolitan Atlanta, Fulton County, who paid the ultimate price. Here's a wonderful opportunity to honor those young men. And to do so, you can purchase a commemorative brick, put any information on that brick you want, and that brick will become a permanent part of the memorial that is being built in Piedmont Park. Here's an opportunity for you to, on this Memorial Day, to memorialize and commemorate and celebrate all of those young men who paid that ultimate price. So in an effort to give you an opportunity, we're having a brickathon. This brickathon is we've created commemorative bricks that will be a permanent part of the memorial being built in Piedmont Park. So here's an opportunity for you to purchase a commemorative brick, become a permanent part of this memorial, and celebrate those young men's lives. That's it.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
Now, I think what Tony grabbed was part of what Brother Michael has been doing and crafting for us over the last, I say, 6 months, because we started this brickathon after some rallying with the task force members, and I want to shout out to all the task force members that's not here. You should have been here. No one talk about it. But we want Brother Michael to come and take us now to where we are with the brickathon and what we can do with the brickathon. And I want to say this about Brother Michael. Every time Brother Michael talk about the brickathon, his family buying bricks. I'm gonna tell y'all that because I monitor the website. So I mean it's remarkable, brother. So we want to thank you for not only your advocacy, your encouragement, but your involvement.
Oh man, thank you so much for that, and I give all the glory to God first and foremost. I do want to say it's been a joy being on this project, but one thing I do want to make mention of is that this show, we're putting it together for the benefit of veterans, and this memorial on this Memorial Day weekend, it's so pivotal. You're going to be a part of history in a way unlike anything you've ever imagined. So for this specific campaign, what we started out doing several months ago, we wanted to generate interest, but we also wanted to raise funds to help to offset the cost of building the memorial. And as a result, what we did was held several brickathons. We invited individuals from all different kinds of walks of life. However, we also had a significant amount of veterans, each with their own unique set of stories. We had elected officials and a lot of supporters that basically came online and shared with us several different perspectives with respect to their experience, not just as being veterans, but their perspective of what it meant to be working around veterans as well. Okay, so that being said, it was pretty important for us to capture all of that, and our Brickathon was a phone-in event over Zoom where we actually had a lot of people, a lot of participation. We got a lot of content. And this content effectively is going to be part of the historical events that we will capture and put in some sort of digital format. That way we can share it with the schools, universities, the libraries, and it is my goal one day, when I play the lottery and hit that number and win, I want to buy a digital kiosk. I saw that the mayor is actually putting digital kiosks in downtown. I would like to supplement that memorial with a digital kiosk of its own that will give people the opportunity to visit the memorial and see and hear information about the history of the entire series of events. Not just the veterans that we're memorializing, but this entire task force and all the people that work behind the scenes to make this possible. So that is one. So I just volunteered you for something. I need to talk to some people.
Voluntold.
But payback is something, ain't it? Yeah. But anyway, I do want to just highlight that the Brickathon was specifically for that purpose. We wanted to raise awareness, and we also wanted people to make their contributions. And last week we showed what the memorial is going to look like once it's completed, and this thing is going to be awesome. I don't think there's anything like it in the country.
No.
Wow.
It's been a journey, I've got to say, and I just can't wait till we break ground and when we actually have that event to really move forward and open this facility. I think the entire city and people from surrounding states are going to come to see this. It's going to be awesome. If I could say this much, on the sonsofatlanta.org website, you still have an opportunity to make some contributions up until the 31st. Is that right? The end of the month. Okay.
Up until the 15th now.
Up until the 15th of June. Okay, awesome. So what you will be doing effectively is going to the website, click on the commemorative brick campaign. There are 2 links on that web page, okay? The first link is going to be to purchase the brick. So you will purchase the brick. And once you have selected from one of the 5 levels, 1, 3, 5, 700, and 1,000, we encourage corporations to join in as well. Once you have clicked on the brick and made your purchase, there's a second link on there, and that's where, after you make your purchase, you will have an order number. You need to keep that order number. The second link is where you will put the information for the inscription of the brick. That's very important. So I need, we've already got a whole bunch of volunteers from my side of the family, but we're going to continue that trend and see if we can break some records here. But I really just want to thank all of you who have gave, who have donated in some capacity or the other. I really appreciate all that you're doing. This is not going to go to waste. If you follow me online on LinkedIn, which is my primary social media platform, I talk about this a lot, and I'm doing this for a specific reason. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, but I do want to just emphasize that no donation is too small, and I just love you all for what you're doing and how you're supporting this project. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Pollard. Now, what we are doing with the memorial is about these 240 names that I have in my hand in the 9 cities in Fulton County that gave their sons during the Vietnam War. This is a unity project, and I'm saying it because this is what has occurred since we brought it out of the the chapter and started talking about it in the city. The city of Atlanta has gotten behind us with funding, and the Piedmont Park Conservatory then approved the land grant. We had last Memorial Day we had a news event in Piedmont Park with the commissioner of Park and Recreation, and he said this is going to be one of the most economic generator for that part of town because of the visitation that it's going to cause. And the Atlanta Historic Piedmont Park, this is going to be an open air memorial, meaning that you can go visit it anytime, any day you want to go without hesitation. In a park that's the most visited park in the state of Georgia. So and let me say this: I'm being a product of Atlanta, Georgia, and a graduate of Booker T. Washington High School. It's right across from the Booker T. Washington statue. So
Well,
I had to drop that on. So just in case all them bulldogs out there watching, they know that
they get an attitude.
Yeah, they know what the attitude is.
Absolutely.
But it has been such a magic for bringing people together until I was talking to one of my homeboys who actually some kind of way I got an award from the Presidential Community Service Award for what we do with the chapter in Atlanta. And that's how I connected with Hara. And Hara has been calling me and Marsha and all the peoples over there at Black Radio Hall of Fame, and they call me and say, "You got this young lady that's a veteran now. She's a politician too, though. So that want to be a part of this project." I mean, this is just like out of the blue. Yeah. This is I think what God is doing for this project. So here we got D. Marie. Listen. I want you to tell us now. I mean, I know I'm putting you on the spot because you're a veteran and you're a mom and you got a military background. What does Memorial Day mean to you?
So Memorial Day means to me a time where we take a pause and we reflect on all the people, all the men and women, and sometimes children that have given their lives to what we call this freedom we have. And to really sit aside the time and just really take a moment to think about that, what the cost is. When you talk about a cost, a lot of times people don't get the cost. You know, that meant away from their families, away from their homes, and then some away forever. And that's an internal cost. And so for me, myself a veteran, my husband a veteran, my pastor a veteran, family members are veterans. It's thick in our blood in terms of service to our community. And I think that people need to understand that they are to be remembered and treasured and honored in their respective places, because how many of us civilians would give our limbs and our lives to serve a country that isn't always equal and free and justice for all? So they chose to do that even during the times where the lines were still blurred in that regards. And so I think we need to make sure we're honoring our grandfathers and our uncles and our fathers and our brothers and our sisters and our aunties that have served for this country, because freedom isn't free. It is a cost, and a lot of them paid the ultimate sacrifice, and some are still paying the sacrifice. And so it's always grieving to me when I hear about the stories about, claims being denied for a veteran that clearly gave their all, or benefits being denied, whether it's student loan or housing and hungry and homelessness. It's disheartening. So during this time, find a veteran in your area, in your community, in your life, that sometimes they just need a word of encouragement to say thank you, or take the time to honor them. I mean, we post everything on social media. Post their pictures and let them know you're thinking about them, that you love them, that you care, that you remember them. It's important. Yes. It's really important.
Absolutely. And the one thing that you pointed out, that we beat this drum every week, that the benefits that we earn from our military service is meant for the veteran, his family, and the community. And when they are not gotten, all of them suffer. If we could get veterans benefits as they are outlined and promised, then we could change the economic landscape of our community. So we're here always trying to get people to understand that is a part of knowing how to value your veteran. When you look at a veteran that's homeless, you should ask him, what can you do? He might not be able to mentally at that point negotiate through the place where he's at, but there are benefits there for him.
Absolutely.
That we can get as a community to make sure that our veterans are not suffering the way that they're suffering in our community. So this Memorial Day, we're still saying that all gave some. And those that, when we're talking about all, that's everybody. The sacrifices are just being under military code of conduct 24/7. Is be late, they take some money from you.
Absolutely.
So, but the good part about it is that only 1% of the population in this country ever served in the U.S. military.
Wow.
So that is a minority. That's the smallest minority in this country. But the budget for that smallest minority is the third largest of federal government, the VA. Wow. And we want to know why. Some magic number of $200+ billion a year.
Why?
Why do we have homeless veterans?
Why?
Why do we have veterans being mistreated with medical issues at VA? It's mainly in hospitals, VAs in larger cities where the population is diverse. You got problems.
Yeah.
And the smaller, suburban towns, you go there, you get excellent treatment from VA. We want equal treatment under the law for every veteran.
For every veteran.
That's the pledge that we do when we go into in the military. So we're here today, and we're so thankful for you and what you're doing in the community now. Because let me say this: this year, I seen more veterans running for office than I ever seen.
Absolutely.
And I started having a good hope about this democracy.
Absolutely.
Because see, I know that you don't ever get over that oath of military service, that you will defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Yes. So We need that right now in our
Absolutely.
government because. Let me let you talk about that.
It's so needed. Here's the thing. We get totally passionate about things that don't matter, and we give our all to things that don't affect our forever, and we give less attention to the things that are right now that need to be changed. We're in the middle of a pandemic and a crisis and a food shortage and a chip shortage and mental health out of control. There aren't even enough people to service the mental health community.
You see them on the crazy shit.
Yeah, and it's disheartening because here's the thing. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day we'll all wake up and I'll reach to the right and I'll reach to the left and likewise all the way around the world, and we'll reach out and touch and serve one another. Now, that just seems so far-fetched, but Martin Luther King had a dream. And look. So I'll keep dreaming that dream, and I'll keep fighting for that vision that the community will become unified in the fight for equal rights and justice for all, especially our vets.
Well, you touched on something that most of the people around me would say I'm always on this pulpit.
Yeah.
Military service. Now, when I left Atlanta, Georgia in 1967, went down through the SEALs building down on Ponce de Leon. Then they took me to Fort Benning, Georgia. Right, that was my first stop. The first time in my life I had ever lived up under the roof with anybody that looked different from me. I was part of that integration of the U.S. military.
Yeah.
But during that process, Dr. King was saying this, we was doing it, that, that one day we would have a nation where people would be judged on the contents of their character rather than the color of their skin. We learned how to do that in the U.S. military better than any other segment in our society. But when we came out of the military, unfortunately, we went back into our segregated-minded communities.
Yes.
We didn't keep that dialogue going, and we missed this tremendous example of how we can all get along.
A tremendous opportunity to take that mindset to the community.
Yeah. And during this Brickathon, Dr. Pollard did some stuff that was kind of amazing because he has this remarkable, I'm going to say the next Colin Powell.
Okay, all right, come on then.
And he was at Georgia Military College, which, a lot of our leaders come out of Georgia Military College. Dr. Pollard, how did you feel when you was interacting with that young core of leaders?
First of all, it brought back a lot of memories because I'm also a product of military school. I went to New Mexico military. So first and foremost, it really brought it home for me. But looking at the youth today, these individuals that are volunteering for service, one thing that we've got to remember, we've got to be the example for these young people that are, as a matter of fact, Georgia Military College, they had a commissioning ceremony yesterday. So some of the Corps actually got their commission. There's several others that are going to be commissioned later on in the year. But when we have the vision in our country, when we have events like January 6th going on, and we have people who have served in the military, who are part of law enforcement, dealing with issues of morality, that sends the wrong message, okay? But overall, that entire experience just goes to show that you've got an impressionable group of individuals that are looking to us for guidance. And one of the things I appreciate so much about this specific body and this task force is that we are able to bring those messages back home, but in such a way that we can actually help galvanize the community around a common cause to help us overcome a lot of the issues that we're facing today. We are facing more than anything else. It's not a matter of party affiliation or anything to that effect, but we're facing a fight. We're facing a moral fight, plain and simple. Let's just call it what it is. And we really got to take that to heart because we could be Ukraine while we're sitting here farting around and bickering about things that really don't matter. The enemy is constantly looking for ways for which they by which they can exploit us. And the best way to do that is to divide us. So what are you going to do? You're giving them the war, basically. So I say that because the folks at Georgia Military College and every military college and institution around the country, they profess and they really ask that their newly commissioned cadets becoming officers, they take the oath twice in some respects. So we have to be that example. We have to understand what they're sacrificing in these times. Okay, let's not sit there and bicker and complain about what happened and how we withdrew from Afghanistan, because we withdrew from Vietnam and a whole bunch of other places
Korea
around
too.
the world.
You ain't talking about it.
So,
Don't do it, military.
they weren't pretty. They weren't pretty. But nonetheless, let's get it together, people. Let's get it together. I don't want to see the younger generation of service people being deployed to war, coming back having to face the issues that the Vietnam veterans faced when they came back. Okay, coming back to the divided society. We don't need to see that repeat itself again. They say history has a way of repeat. I do not want to see that happen. I don't want to see it for my son or any of the other sons that he's going to be serving with. So that's where I stand on this. And I'll say this, and I'll get off the soapbox for just a minute, but go and research the history of Memorial Day. While we're talking about that this weekend,
Yes.
we're going to research it, okay? So there are going to be some arguments about when it really started.
Well, we don't care when it started, but we know who started it.
Yeah.
We got to realize that that's a lot of the good things in this country. We started it. Diversity is our strength.
Yes.
And we got to get over this stuff and realize that we all, I can go through all kind of stuff and relate my culture and my heritage in this country, and so can other demographics.
Yes.
And that's okay. We learn to accept. I learned to go to country western stuff when I was in the military, and enjoyed it. I got a different perspective.
Yeah.
That didn't mean I had to go every time they went, but I started understanding the differences and realized that I had more in common than I had in difference. The military is the best. Well, everybody gonna say I'm biased anyway, so I don't care. But I think it is the best instrument that we have in our society for identifying and assigning personnel.
Absolutely. I definitely concur with that.
So what we need to do is get this vast reservoir of skills and experience in our community cranked around dealing with the community issues. And that's what the Sons of Atlanta Vietnam Memorial Project gonna give us the opportunity to do. Because people think we're just building a wall, a memorial in Piedmont Park. But no, we're going into the community centers and libraries in this county, and we're gonna set up help centers and knowledge centers where people understand if their loved one is a veteran and not mentally capable of understanding and getting his benefits, they can help him.
Absolutely.
Because those benefits need to come back to the community.
Yes.
It is an economic deprivation for us not to do this.
Yes. It's our responsibility.
It's our job. Like this, and I want to say this here. 9 cities. This 9 cities got a reason to celebrate. They got a reason to stand up for this democracy.
Yes.
They got a reason for us to unify and talk about in the community what we're talking about here today on Memorial Day. What it means to them. Does it mean enough for you to save the democracy that your son died for? Are we going to just let these petty differences cause us to have bigger differences? We know, everybody sitting on this panel know right now, we don't need no automatic weapons in the streets of our
at all. Absolutely.
And veterans need to come up and say this with one voice.
Unnecessary.
With one voice all across this nation, veterans need to stand up and say, no more of these automatic weapons in my community.
Absolutely.
That's
We
right.
need to stop letting these people that we elect dictate to us what we need in our community.
That's right.
If they want guns, you can have your gun, but don't make it where everybody can have an automatic weapon. You know, I mean, and then they scared of them.
Amen.
Because we just had absolute proof that they don't want to face no automatic weapon. They let them kids die because they didn't want to go in
Go
there
inside
and
the
face
building.
it.
Go
That's
inside the
right.
building.
This is veteran.
So that's why we need to rally up and everyone call your local senators and congressmen and the people that you've elected,
we got
elected
to stand
officials,
up.
and say no more. And we want change now.
We got to stand
No
up
more.
and stand together.
Yes.
But we have
This-
to look at
see,
the news and see our babies scattered.
My great grandbabies here in Atlanta scared to go to school.
Go to school.
What are we doing?
That's right.
You know, we are lying some, and I'm gonna tell you what. I was fighting Russia in 1967 and 68 in Vietnam. Why are we doing business with them? Why we got to do business, global business that government don't cause inflation, businesses do. We're gonna have to start having people that talk sense to us to get our votes.
Come on.
So we need to make sure that we are standing up for these guys. Lewis, I recognize you today, brother. That's my friend. You know, that were killed in Vietnam for the rights that we have in our community that we need to stand up for and demand that they are executed and protected. You know, right now, I'm absolutely against abortions. But I don't think that the government should
Have the right to
have
tell
the
a
right
woman
to
what to
tell
do
a
with her
woman what to
body.
do with her own body.
Absolutely not.
So we need to get some sensible people in government. And anytime you got somebody that won't allow debate on a bill, that's a dictator. So we seen dictatorship long before Trunkism came to town. So we need to open our eyes. You know, you're on a trail, right? You know, you're in combat. You need to watch where you're going.
Sure.
You
Absolutely.
need to look both ways. You need to make sure that if you got footsteps in front of you, some kind of way, you got an enemy out there waiting to ambush you.
And the sad thing is that we now actually have to go out of our doors and look both ways, whether we're in the grocery store, or church, or school, your home, your community events, a movie theater, or a bar, or a club, and it's so sad. It's so sad, and it goes right back to what you said. No more assault rifle. Why does the individual need an assault rifle? A weapon that is used to fight
They're scared.
wars,
They're scared.
not individuals.
Yeah.
So we've got a war within.
And the only reason they want them, they're scared. You know, they just fear. That make them believe that, okay, I need an automatic weapon so I can shoot anything of color that look at me.
Absolutely.
You know, and we got to stand up and let it be. We can all get along. And it's enough in this nation for everybody. We got to get away from this 2% of the population controlling 98% of the wealth. When we can do this, if we stop allowing them to divide us. Right
Divide
now,
and conquer.
right now, I'm concerned with the caseload that I have of veterans waiting on their benefits in a process that they say is better for us. It's not. It's not.
Before you change subjects, let me do something real quick. So
Okay.
if you really want to bring it home, if you care about the birth of children, okay, and abortion, you got to care about these kids that are trying to just go to school, get an education, and benefit themselves.
Absolutely.
So you can't be for the law in one prescribed way and just basically take away all of the other civil liberties and all of the things that we have fought to have as freedoms here in our country. So let the children learn. You know, do not be giving weapons to folks that don't have the mental capacity to really understand, you know, what harm can be done. You know, we need to vet these individuals before they get those weapons. So it's going to be an all or none type of deal. Let's make sure that we're putting laws in place and electing the officials who will put laws in place to make sure that we're not out there harming one segment of the population while hypocritically criticizing the other. All right, so I just want to get that out there.
And you know, that's so true because let me say this. Now, I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran, and I have served in the U.S. military as a combat MOS, wounded in combat. If I want to get a gun because I have been classified disabled with PTSD, I can't get a gun. are we the only demographic that they can do that to?
Mm-hmm.
If they can do it to veterans, why can't they do it to these other people that's getting guns? Right now, right this very minute, any veteran with a mental diagnosis, the VA can send it to firearms, and you will not be, because you're not supposed to be able to get a weapon if you got a mental disorder.
50 to
But
1.
I heard the politicians saying, well, you can't just take away the right. They done took away my right.
The funny thing about it is
You know,
you got a ratio of over 50 guns per human being in the United States.
Yeah. So what
What's wrong with that rate?
Those are
that's
more than
fear.
that.
That's fear.
terrible.
Yeah.
That's the
statistics.
fear that these people that's in fear of losing power,
Sure.
control. They don't want to share control.
You got your 50?
I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. I recognized one time in an incident that I was actually a mental patient and I didn't need a gun and I gave it up. See, if you don't understand PTSD, it is a bad behavior disorder. You push a button, you're gonna behave badly. You know, sometimes once that button is pushed, you can't stop from behaving badly. I was in a situation where I'm supposed to be an adult, but I was talking with a kid that disrespected me. I was packing, and I almost used the packing because I had it.
Yeah, because it was
Then I realized
available.
that I'm a mental patient.
Right.
I need to. First of all, I don't need no gun
Right.
for my own benefit. You know,
See,
and for
that's
safety
the
of others.
beauty of that. You recognize that trigger and you subdued yourself.
Yeah.
But every person is not
Everybody can
capable
do that.
of doing that, of getting to that place where, wait, this is wrong. I should absolutely not go into a
I shouldn't
school
have
and
access
shoot
to no-
21 people.
That's right.
And I should have access,
To do
period,
so.
to a automatic weapon, a war weapon.
Assault
We should ban automatic weapons. If it got to be more than 6 rounds shot at somebody,
Absolutely.
you know, you need to be calling the police. That's their job. You know, I know that you can make people back off of you with 6 rounds.
He had over 200. when
He had over
was
200.
It really only takes one round to stop you.
How do you allow a person to walk into the store, 18 years old,
Yeah.
and buy all this ammunition without question?
Can't get a handgun, but he could get an assault rifle.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
So we got to look at the hypocrisy that's taking place.
It's not even
because
legal
of-
to drink,
That's
yeah.
right.
but it's legal
But
to
anyway, you can get a gun.
get an
You
assault
get a
rifle.
Something's wrong.
So we got some stuff to work on, and
Yes,
I
we
think that what we're talking about today on Memorial Day, not just about the building the memorial, but acting out what we know these young people died for,
Sure.
protecting what. we
And
know.
here's the thing that's under my skin. We've had meetings about the meetings and conversations about the conversations, and we're doing absolutely nothing.
Sure, nothing.
We're continuing to watch the news reports. We're continuing to watch the Capitol have their convenes and sit in the chambers and act out as if they're going to act on the behalf of the people. And we're not doing anything.
Becoming a routine.
We've got to get unstuck from just the talk of things and get to doing the things.
Gotta be about it.
You got to be about what you speak about, and you got to draw a line in the sand and say so.
Yes.
So activate your local legislators, bug them, beat their doors down, and tell them you want change now. Because just talking about it and tweeting on Twitter and expressing yourself on social media is doing absolutely nothing. Even, yes, we're having the conversations and we now are creating a dialogue, but what are we going to do now?
Sure.
What are we going to do now? And who's going to do it for us?
Yes.
We've got to do it for ourselves.
Yeah, gotta do it for ourselves. And we got the infrastructure to do it. I want to let y'all know, VA Claim Clinic is coming up next Monday. If you really want to learn how to fashion, prepare a winning claim, you need to go to our Facebook group page, get the information, give us an email that you want to come on in the claim clinic on next Monday. We're going to be dealing with the elements of a claim and this stuff about the new claim automation system. Where right now they're actually doing claims within 60 days. I got one that we actually went through in 60 days. So that's how you get it when you get people. You do it right. You get people there at the VA that do it right. Then it happens right. Veterans get their benefits. But now let me explain to everybody this. The system has speeded up to cut you off. In the process of all these changes, they have taken away a lot of benefits and even some constitutional rights in the process, which we need to deal with in order to point them out, in order to make sure that our elected officials know what we need change in these laws. We got a lot of bills going through Congress. We're going to talk about those. We're going to get back to talking about those bills, especially the Agent Orange Act in Thailand. Great bill needed amendment to recognize the other 40 locations that this stuff has been sprayed and stored and used that's not being recognized. And veterans are still getting sick and dying from their military service. So this is Veterans Talk, veterans talking to veterans and the community about all things veterans. We had a good day today. We want you to know that you can still go to sonsofAtlanta.org, and get your brick. Now, what Brother Michael was talking about, we're getting limited now because the city of Atlanta done stepped up and say, they done told Moody Construction they're gonna pay the money to get the wall built. So you might not get a chance to get your brick if you don't hurry up and do it.
That's right.
So get your brick because we are building a community. So it starts with your part. Get your brick today.
Today, right now, because it's an honor. I'm gonna love going to the park and looking at these names.
Yeah.
Albert Collins, PFC, from Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know what school he went to. Luther Chambliss. The whole list. Go to the Sons of Atlanta and look at the pictures. A lot of these guys didn't make it to be 21 years old. That means that they can never voted. So we got to vote for them. We got to vote for them. Now, we went through all these primaries and we saw some things that, look like they setting us up. But we have to go to the poll. November, we need to plan to go to the poll in November like we never went to the poll before.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is so critical that not only we get a majority of the House and the Senate to the Democrats, we need to send a message to Mitch that he won't never forget. Because too long he's been blocking legislation.
Just because.
Just because he don't agree with it. And stacking the Supreme Court with liars. Oh, I forgot. I'm a parody guy. I ain't supposed to say that. Listen, I'm a veteran person.
So my eyes bug over.
If you say you ain't gonna do something during congressional hearings and then you turn around and do it, that's a lie. They did some of the two of them I remember saying that Roe v. Wade was,
It's law.
Was law.
Yes.
It shouldn't be
Could not be
overturned.
revoked.
And now they're threatening to overturn it. So
what else are they going to overturn?
What else? That's right. Brown Board.
What's next?
Board of Education.
What's next?
What's next? And this gerrymandering that we have allowed them to do to construct voting districts so they can't ever lose. People, we are going to let them take a democracy and make a dictatorship out of it while we watch? No, we can't. Veterans, if this is what you serve for, then fine. But if this is not what you serve for, we need to get together.
Wake up.
We need to get together. We need to form voting blocks all across this country with veterans that's not going for this.
Wake up, America. Let's get this done.
This,
Understand the issues. Yes.
Understand the issue. Understand that one reason that Congress ain't voted on the Agent Orange Thailand bill because they ain't gonna vote on it because the Congress ain't doing what they was elected to do. We got somebody up there, if they don't like the bill, they don't even vote it. They don't even discuss it.
It never goes on the floor. As a matter of fact, I submitted a bill to Congress in 2019 to protect children from abuse and molestation. That bill got to the Capitol, but it did not get on the floor. Why? Politics.
Yeah.
Not because it wasn't a good bill, but
an unnecessary bill. I mean, then you get these hypocrites that this is Veterans Time. This is Veterans Time. I'm so excited about this show and what we do on Veterans Talk because we're exercising our constitutional right to discussion, to expression.
Absolutely.
And with this discussion,
freedom
with this
of speech.
Communication, I'm hoping that we can come together.
Yes.
You know, that we can recognize what we are allowing these politicians to do to our democracy. You know, I mean, you take 1% of the population that's going to serve for and everybody's thank you for your service. Then they're trying to stop the people from voting and having the rights that we serve for them to have and the opportunities. Now, let's be fair, y'all. $15 an hour ain't enough.
It's not.
That's not a livable wage in this economy. So we need to start talking to some of these business folks that they can take a little bit less of a profit and pay their people a little bit more
To survive.
There's vehicles out there for that.
Yeah.
That's a different show, though.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. You ain't going nowhere because the Brickathon is over.
But let me say
you're not
this.
going anywhere because the day is over. I want to let you know you got to become a regular because man, Tony can't do it by
Absolutely.
himself.
I will join you. Listen, you guys have my unwavering support. As to be very specific, as I put my money where my mouth is, I will purchase a brick on behalf of Wild Church Outreach Department, and I will purchase a brick on behalf of my family as well. So you have that. I just think that I mean that's not a lot, but that's something. That's a start. But I'll be readily available to service you. I'm a community activist. I go out and I fight for the people. I fight for the children. I fight for the moms and the dads. And I fight for economic growth and stability in our community. And I will do that until the day I die.
And I'm going to tell you what, I'm on a mission, a personal mission here in Fulton County. And Tony is on there with me.
Well, I'm in DeKalb County, so what we doing? We just take the map.
We want to do away with homelessness.
Oh, absolutely.
We you know, I hate to go downtown to Atlanta.
Yeah.
This is my hometown. I love the city. But when I go down there and I see people home up under the bridge living, it breaks my heart.
Yeah. I have been for the last 10 years directly going to the city of Atlanta under the bridges and giving them a small offering once a month. That's just my heart. I'll always do that. I know that's very small in comparison to what their needs are, but I just rally up a team of people, my outreach department at my church, my other community organizations that I'm a part of, and we just go out and serve the community because I believe that's what it's about. Yeah. And again, if we all just take, like a Memorial Day or your birthday, and you pack up some things that you don't use anymore, some water and some toiletries, and go and just give of, it takes very little time to just give of yourself of things that you're not using anymore. So I challenge everyone who's listening today, if you could just take a moment to give to someone in need.
Yes. Yes. And remember, Memorial Day is really about the democracy. Yeah. It's really about remembering those who have paid the ultimate price, but also thinking about those who returned with conditions that they had to struggle with all their life. Yeah. I lost one of my best friends Thursday. He was wounded 3 times in Vietnam, drug off, taken captive by the Goops, and I used to tell him all the time, man, that the devil didn't want him and God wasn't ready for him yet. But he went home Thursday morning. This Eli, we call him Rat. So I wanted to shout out to his family and all of us that know him. And he was a life member of Vietnam Veterans of America, and I had known this man since I was in the first grade.
Wow.
So we lose another patron, and he was a guy that believed in this government. You know, he believed in this democracy. You know, and I know that it took me a while to get him to let me file for his claim. He was so into the self-care that this country wants us to be in. But he had incurred disabilities from his service. And you know, he was one of the people that I got 100% on the first round because he was 100%. He was more, he needed it, but he struggled with his disabilities and worked at the VA till they just said, "You can't work here no more because he's falling on the job." And what a lot of veterans and a lot of our seniors do, and that's why we got to make sure that pay equity is something that we have to do.
Absolutely.
We have to concentrate on, along with confronting racism and division that we're suffering in our community. Being a pastor myself, I have to confront that evil.
Absolutely.
You know, and you know, being a veteran, I know that we can overcome it.
Absolutely.
You know, because I worked with and served with some all of the diversities, and out of all of them, I got at least one friend. You know, that I still have friendship with. So I know it's not that difficult for us to get along and for us to work together to have a better nation, to get this more perfect union that we say we want or that we serve to have. And it's enough for everybody.
Yes.
It's enough for everybody. It's not, you know, I mean, you could take, Walmart could give his people $65,000 a year, and I think that's a fair income for everybody in this economy. At least $65,000 a year. And you know what? He still won't live long enough to spend all the money he got.
Right.
You know, so we have to try to talk to our businesses, make sure these businesses. Now I'm a capitalist, so don't get me wrong. I'm not talking communism here, so don't get it twisted. But I know if I, you know, and I do business, if I'm gonna pay my people, then they ain't gonna steal from me.
That's right.
You know, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you something. If we remove lack out of the community and deal with mental illness, we wouldn't have no crime.
No crime at all.
That's right.
We wouldn't have no
That's
crime.
right. That is
at
it.
all.
That is
And
it.
you give them family time off. They won't even call off
Sure.
because they have family time
That's
to
it.
service their family.
That's it.
Yeah.
There are solutions to
There's
these
solutions
problems.
that are solutions
There are
that what
solutions.
we're talking about. And we want veterans to know that you're a part of the solution. That's the whole part that about this show. We're talking veterans, talking to veterans, and we know based on our experiences, we are the best tool that the community has right now to overcome this division and these problems that we got in the community. Because we're not afraid of each other.
And we've got to hold on to the tenacity of hope.
Yeah, and we're not afraid of each other. See, somewhere, somebody got us afraid of each other.
Yeah.
So I need to.
That's a whole nother show.
That's
That's a whole nother show.
So we're gonna have some more shows like this because this is what we do every week.
Yes.
You know, so we want everybody to know if you miss the show. And I don't like the phones being. I know y'all out there. I don't like the phones being silent. You know, because we had D. Marie here today, and I know that she has some information, especially for young sisters that are thinking about going in the military.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, we don't want to underplay the role. Let me tell you something. The first sister I saw in Vietnam, I was in the hospital. She was taking care of me. I didn't want it. So you know, we can't underestimate the value of all of us serving in the military.
It was one of the best experiences that I had, and it was one of the most educational experiences and lessons that I learned about myself. Mm-hmm. So I really wish there was a tutorial that all students in high school could take, just like a little mini basic training.
Sure.
Oh my, we'd have a different world.
Well, see, I'm gonna tell you something. That's why I love the junior ROTC talking to you guys out there again at Carver High, Washington High. You know, I'm proud of the way y'all getting ready to graduate getting well, y'all done graduated. They done graduated.
My
now.
son did junior.
Everybody else getting ready to be promoted to another grade, and the ROTC are gonna pick up some more members. So we want to continue to work with you guys. So give us a call, 770-895-3260. And I'm gonna let Tony start closing it out, and then we're gonna come this way.
Before I close out on that particular point, one of the other things that we want to do, along with veterans, is open up community centers so that we can communicate with veterans. Because what we really need to do is inform veterans about their benefits and all of the advantages they can take advantage of by becoming members of the military. So we want to encourage people, join the military. There are benefits there that you will earn and have for a lifetime. You'll get training that will suit you. Yeah. So that's one of the things in the community centers that we're going to do.
Okay. Absolutely, I love it.
Marie,
absolutely. Listen. Connect with me, follow my socials, my handles. My page is dmarieitheinfluencer.com. It's my website. You can contact me on all of my socials. But more over anything, I want you to hear the hearts of the people today that we speak on behalf of, the soldiers that have not made it home and the soldiers that are home and still in need, and the families that support them. If you can, please go out and get your brick. Go out and service your community. Go out and find a vet and tell them that you care, and take a stance about the things that are important to you in your community. Our children, our future generation deserves that.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us today. This is another wonderful edition. And again, look for us on Facebook Live. Also look for us on Lyve TV. Lyve.tv, Lyve.tv, and we look forward to talking to you again. Have a pleasant day, everyone.
And don't forget, Bishop Flame Clinic coming up. If you want to get in and get some knowledge, all you got to do is just send us an email. We'll get you on deck. See you next week.
That was a quick